Hello and welcome to the All Crack No Crap podcast. My name is Paul and I'm here with Callum.
Hello.
And today we're going to be discussing karma and ethics and a little bit of morality. Topics we're very interested in and have quite controversial opinions on, especially in modern society today.
Yeah.
So should we kick it off with karma?
We'll kick off with karma. So what is karma? Karma is the belief that if you do good things, you will get good things in return. What goes round comes round. So if you're an ass, then bad things will happen to you. If you're good, good things will happen to you. And obviously that is bollocks.
Yeah, not true at all. It doesn't work like that. So obviously karma originates with the Hindu faith and has quite a lot of influence on the Buddhist faith as well. So originating from Eastern religions, but seems to have become quite a well adopted, especially within Western society. Just by general populations, even by people that wouldn't describe themselves as being particularly religious.
Yeah, I know people that aren't religious but believe in karma.
Yeah, yeah, for definite.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think we can all think of examples where karma doesn't fit into the equation.
Yeah, there are fantastic examples as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you think of the example like Jeff Bezos, he treats his employees, hundreds of thousands of employees, who get treated like utter shit. He doesn't even properly uphold human rights within his warehouses. And yet he's a billionaire sitting pretty and living a amazing life.
Yeah. The other good one is karma. I'm so tired, sorry. The other good one is Jimmy Savile. So, did all these things for charity and working with kids and building hospitals for kids and the whole time fucking raping a lot of them. And then he died, an old man in his bed, peacefully passed away.
Yeah, lived a very comfortable life.
Yeah, he was quite well off, wasn't he?
And I mean, he got away with it that well that there were times on live TV he'd drop quite obvious hints about what he was doing.
Really?
And no one noticed.
Oh, okay.
Because he was thought of as such a renowned public figure who did such good works.
Yeah. So right there, but nothing bad happened to him.
Yeah.
Because he died an old man surrounded by his family. I don't know that for a fact, but he died an old man in his bed. Did he go in his sleep? I don't know. It's quite a peaceful way to die, isn't it?
I know he went peacefully. I don't know if he went in his sleep. But I know he just got away with it.
Yeah, he just never faced any consequences for it. So karma's obviously bullshit.
Yeah.
Unless now you're going to come along and say, well, his punishment was he goes to hell. Well, now you have to prove that as well.
Yeah, and I mean, even if you look at Christianity, a lot of modern Christians don't believe in hell.
Don't they?
No, and there is particular evidence that hell might well have been the invention of the Catholic Church.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. So just to sort of keep people in line. So
yeah.
And there are plenty of Christians out there who don't even believe in hell anymore. So,
you didn't, did you, when you were religious?
For a long period, I didn't.
No.
So there is no punishment then, is there?
No. Well, yeah, they are then. So. Fuck yeah. Sorry about the wind as well. It's quite a windy day today.
It's a very windy day today. And just a reminder to everyone, we are now on YouTube Music if you want to listen.
We're not wrapping the show up already, are we?
No, we're not. No, I just wanted to get that in there before I forgot.
Because we forget quite a bit.
We do forget.
That, don't we?
Yeah.
Shit. Okay. So yeah, that's basically karma.
That's pretty much our views on karma.
That's it. Yeah, episodes like this, Paul, would actually work if we had opposing views, but we don't.
No, there's nothing to debate.
No, it'd be quite interesting because we could make an episode hour. This is our third time recording this podcast now, because we just get to here and it's oh, this is a bit shit. Let's start again. But it'd be interesting if I believed in karma, but I'm not going to fake that for the show.
No,
because I can't. It's not genuine. Then, is it?
We want this to be genuine.
Yeah.
So the other things we were going to discuss is morality.
Yes. So, okay, well, what's morality then?
So, morality can be defined in sort of quite varying ways, but morality would be thought of as being moral, as acting in the correct way, and doing the right things. But what we can discuss with morality is moral realism and anti-realism. So moral realism would be the belief that there is a set of moral rules that apply universally to everything, and as long as you follow those moral rules, you're acting in a moral way. You're acting ethically. You're acting in the right way. And then there's obviously moral anti-realism, who totally disagrees, believes the total opposite. There is no single set of rules that can be followed. I think me and Callum both sit fairly comfortably in the moral anti-realist camp.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, Paul, the entire time you was talking then, I wasn't listening, so I can't wait to listen to this podcast back. So I actually know what you're saying, but the problem is it doesn't help me now.
No. I studied philosophy and ethics, and I enjoy this sort of thing. And quite often I'll waffle on about stuff like this, and at the end, Callum will go, "I didn't listen to any of that."
Waffle.
Yeah, didn't listen to any of that.
Does. That's why he's so good at podcasting, because he just fucking waffles and waffles and waffles.
Yeah, I could talk for days.
No, I really wish I was listening, so I'd have something to say, because you went on a while.
So I mean, obviously, I think we both sit in the moral anti-realist camp.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. So we don't believe there's a set of rules, moral rules, that apply universally to every situation and every scenario.
I believe that if you do good things, you'll feel good about it. If you do bad things, you'll feel bad about it. So
yeah, and yeah, like morality, we believe is subjective, not objective.
yeah, it certainly is subjective. Because how do I put it now?
So, I mean, I think Sam Harris had interesting thoughts on this in The Moral Landscape, where he suggests that, because he believes there is one single moral rule, so he believes he states that he is a moral realist, and his rule is you should reduce the things that suck, for example, pain, but even that has flaws. If you're a sadomasochist, you enjoy pain.
You can't. You've got to have a yin and a yang. You can't have the good without the bad. If we just got rid of pain, we wouldn't appreciate
Pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah, precisely.
Not pain like a fucking idiot. Couldn't think of the word pleasure.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, you've got to look at it as like that. There's times where pain's necessary. Like if you need a life-saving surgery, you're gonna hurt for a while.
Yeah.
You're gonna hurt, but that's a necessary pain in order to have a better longevity of life and a better quality of life.
Would you say that there's such thing as necessary evil?
Necessary evil? Perhaps, because we've just talked about karma, right?
Yeah.
So, I believe if someone, for example, is a rapist or a murderer, we should lock them up in a jail cell for life.
Yeah.
Is that a necessary evil? Is it necessary for us to punish them? Well, we don't believe there's a punishment after death. So yes, they deserve punishment.
Yeah. It also acts as a deterrent as well.
Yeah, but exactly. It acts as a deterrent. But not only that, these are dangerous people. We need to separate them from society. Mm-hmm. And separation from society in and of itself is a punishment.
Because humans are social animals.
Yeah. So, is putting someone in jail a necessary evil? Yes, I believe it probably is.
Yeah.
So yes, I do believe there are necessary evils.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah, I can't deny that I believe necessary evils if I can give an example of one straight off my top of my head.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, do you know what would be fucking great? Because we talked about doing an episode about the 10 Commandments. That'd be great to slot in here.
That would, yeah. Talk about the 10 Commandments here.
Pull it up on my phone.
I should know these.
Unless you'll... Yeah, you should know them off the top of your head.
I know one is thou shalt not steal. And I think
Hang on, I got a list now.
He's got a list. But you need to slot the thous and these in, otherwise it's not right.
Well, I was going to read it how it's written on here, but I can put thou in if you like.
Yeah, that'd be
So
great.
commandment number 1, thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Yeah.
Commandment number 2.
Should we talk about them as we go?
Yeah, okay.
So, what a narcissistic prick. No other gods than me? Fuck right off. I'd rather believe in fucking Zeus.
Yeah.
Fucking Odin.
There's just as much evidence for Zeus and Odin that there is the Christian God.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is none at all.
Exactly, yeah.
Thou shalt have... Well, I think the first kind of 3 rolled together. They could
Yeah.
all be the same commandment. So, thou shalt not have other gods before me. Thou shalt not make idols. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord God in vain.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those sort of 3 are all about obedience, and you have something to fucking fear here.
Oh, God. I know, I've broken the commandments. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, the first 3 are all about worshipping. You know, if we assume that it's real for a second,
Yeah.
we're assuming that, God has given the first 3 of these 10 rules, are you will obey me, basically.
Yeah.
You will not idolize anybody else. You will not take my name in vain. You will only worship me. That's all it's very narcissistic.
It is very narcissistic. And interestingly enough, so I'm going to have to segue a bit just for this little bit.
Carry on.
Did you know that Jews in the Judaistic faith, they follow the 10 Commandments, they believe in the 10 Commandments?
Yeah, because
right?
none of these are about Jesus, are they?
No, because
So that would apply to them.
The Torah is actually the first so many books of the Bible, and I believe the 10 Commandments are in Exodus. If I'm wrong now, I'm going to look like such an idiot.
Well, you could Google it.
I could Google it.
While you're Googling it, I'll read and explain commandment number 4.
Well, so before you go on, what I was going to say is, where it says thou shalt not take the Lord your God's name in vain,
Yeah.
they take that very literally in the sense that they will speak the name of the Lord,
Yeah.
they will not write it. So they write G
Yeah.
dash D. They will not write the name God.
What, Jewish people?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they believe that would be not only taking the name in vain, but they believe it would be a reduction of the glory of the name to write it on earthly paper.
Oh, every day's a school day.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So commandment number 4, remember the Sabbath day, keep it holy. I never forget Sunday.
No. But interestingly enough, this is I'm going to keep segueing because these
hang on. I said the first 3 are all about worshipping God, but the 4th one is as well, keeping Sundays holy.
Yeah,
like going to church. Is that?
It states, remember the Sabbath day, right? Jews believe the Sabbath is Friday.
Isn't there a separate Christian group that believe it's Saturday?
Yeah, Seventh Day Adventist.
That's it,
Yeah, so this is interesting, right?
So, yeah.
So, like, why so much fucking ambiguity?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You could have put keep Sunday holy.
Yeah, you could have just written, yeah.
And then you wouldn't have 3 different faiths. Well, 3 vaguely different faiths.
Yeah.
Celebrating on different days.
Yeah, because someone's fucking up.
Yeah, exactly.
What if it's Monday? Are there any religious people that believe the Sabbath is Monday?
No, because Islam's Friday. Maybe, I don't know.
Probably out there somewhere, yeah. Where are we up to? Number 5.
Number 5.
Honour thy mother and father. Another way to control people.
Yeah, control.
And honour, by the way, is honour and respect are things that are earned, not given just because you birthed me.
Yeah. I mean, my dad was a dick.
I wasn't going to go into it, but yeah, no, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
No, not my mother, of course, but yeah. Number 6, you shall not murder.
Yeah.
I don't really agree with that, I must be honest. Depends.
It's circumstantial.
And I will say, neither do religious people agree with that. With religious people, it's like, well, who's getting killed? Who's got to do it?
Yeah, so, because I've been watching Anne with an E, and it goes into which is based on Anne of Green Gables, and it has a lot of storyline with the Indians and the Indian reform schools, which is fucking some dark past, right? And this is an actual rule they had, but the father comes out and he says, look, you guys have got to leave, you're trespassing, because the Indians have gone to get their daughter from the school, and he said, we've come to your people need to be educated, you're heathens, you need to be educated, and if necessary, we will kill the Indian to save the child. Like
That's...
and
See, I wouldn't define that as murder. I would say that's just a killing. I would say a murder is where you unjustly kill somebody.
But it was unjust. That is unjust. Because basically what they're saying, right, is...
I only heard the second half of that.
You savage Indians, right? You savage Indians who don't believe in our God, we're going to educate you on how to act properly in society, because you don't act like us British people. So we're going to... Like, because obviously they were British people.
Yeah.
You don't act like us in society, so we're going to educate you on how to talk like us, educate your children on how to talk like us, how to act like us. Going to teach you your past is completely wrong. Going to teach your children this, right? And if you want to stand in the way, we'll kill you so we can teach your child that. It's just cold-blooded murder.
Yeah, see, I wish I could have listened to all of you saying that, so you didn't have to explain it twice, but I went on reading the rest of the commandments.
Yeah,
So
that's fine, yeah.
it's the second time this episode that's happened, isn't it?
Probably.
Yeah, I don't know. We've had 3 goes at recording this. So, yeah, murder is subjective. Like, I wouldn't say if you justify killing somebody because they were attacking you and you had to kill them to defend yourself, I wouldn't call that murder.
No, because it is justifiable.
Yeah.
And that's going back to where we were saying that we believe morality is subjective.
Yeah.
You know, that is a subjective factor that can alter whether you see something as being moral or not.
Yeah. And yeah, it all depends. That's a foggy one, whether I think murder is right and wrong. I think there are certainly situations where it's wrong, but
yeah,
you know. Number 7, you shall not commit adultery. So don't cheat on your missus.
Yeah.
You shall not... Hang on. Right, okay. So 7, 8, 9 and 10 are all the same sort of behaviours. So 7, you shall not commit adultery. 8, you shall not steal. 9, you shall not bear false witness against your neighbour. 10, you shall not covet. So they're all about being honest and not lying to people.
Well, do you know what covet it means? Thou shalt not covet.
Yeah, that means that you like... Oh wait, no, that doesn't make sense, does it? The 3 there are all the same, but that coveting one is... Paul has this laptop and I want one.
Yeah.
That keeps the economy afloat.
Yeah. But
Who is that then? That was George Carlin.
Yeah.
Yeah, George Carlin's got a great fucking skit on Ten Commandments.
Obviously, thou shalt not bear false witness against your neighbour.
That just means don't lie to people.
Yeah, essentially don't lie. Yeah. Don't spread gossip and rumours.
Yeah, don't cheat.
Yeah.
And
Don't
again,
steal.
it's all honesty basically, isn't it?
Yeah, and again, this comes back to the subjective nature of morality. Like, thou shalt not steal, or what about the father who can't afford to feed his children and is stealing food to feed his children?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. A lot of this comes back again to the morality point we were making.
Do you think from a morality person, because if you steal, if you run a shop, someone comes and steals a load of food from you. Now, because you've lost money on that sale, maybe you can't afford to feed your kids. Do you want that guy punished if you then found out he did it to feed his own kids?
Yeah, this is where
because
it becomes foggy.
Yeah, because I'm going to put my kids over somebody else's for sure, but...
Yeah. See,
it's a foggy one, morality, yeah.
This is the thing I see working in retail, I see a lot, is you won't see people in Gloucester walking into a corner shop and nicking. Very rare. Extremely rare they're going to do that, right? But you will see them walking into Asda and nicking all the time. And they're walking into Asda and nicking because they know they're stealing from a corporation who can afford the loss.
Yeah.
I think there's times where people will avoid stealing from someone who can't afford to be stolen from.
Yeah.
And the same comes down to like house burglaries. People are only going to burgle houses where they know there's high value stuff.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, what's the point in taking the risk?
Mm. There are some countries where, like, if you steal, it's punishable by death. So, you know, I'm not just going to go nick that little apple because I'm going to die if I get caught. So I might as well go rob the whole fucking thing because the consequence is the same.
Yeah.
So that could be a motivator to do something worse.
And I believe it's still a rule in Saudi Arabia.
So the crime does need to fit the punishment, just to put a fine point on that.
Yeah. I believe it's still a rule in Saudi Arabia where if you steal, you can get your hands chopped off for that.
Yeah.
So the punishment is you'll never be able to steal again.
Mm. I think that's a good punishment for people that touch children.
Yeah, cut their fucking hands off.
Cut their hands off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, this is like our atheistic views is something that I would say very much influences our opinion on corporal punishment and the death sentence.
I was just going to say something about that.
Yeah,
when you started talking.
I'm an atheist. You would have thought an atheist would be all for the death sentence, but actually no.
Not necessarily.
Because people should face punishment for their crime, and I don't believe they're going to go to hell for their crime. Therefore, they need to face that punishment on Earth. Killing them is an easy way out.
Yeah, that's why Hitler was a pussy. Because he didn't take his punishment for all the people he killed. He killed himself, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he committed suicide and ended his own life. Well, rather than actually face the consequences.
Yeah.
Although, that being said, many of the high-ranking Nazi officials actually did escape punishment.
And that's evidence to why there's no karma.
Yeah, more evidence as to why there is no karma.
Tie that back to the start.
So, the one thing I noted down for this is the trolley problem.
Yes.
This is a very interesting, where things get very interesting. So the trolley problem, I forget who thought of the trolley problem, but it was a way of looking at morality and ethics. And basically, you've got a runaway trolley, and the track splits off into two, and you've got a lever you can pull to switch the track, right? On one track, you've got one person stuck on the track who's going to get hit by the trolley. Mm-hmm. On the other track, you've got three. What do you do?
Well, it's surface value, then it's obviously better to kill the one person to save three. But then the trolley problem then goes a little deeper.
It does.
Because what if that one person can cure cancer? But then, who's to say that the one of the three can't cure cancer?
Exactly. But yeah, so
yeah.
So then you've got this problem of that one person could change the world forever and benefit millions of lives.
Yeah.
But then one of those three people could equally do the same. You know nothing about these people, so how do you act most morally?
Well, if you know nothing about the people, then you have to take it at face value and just go, I'll kill the one guy to save three.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But if where the trolley problem gets interesting is when you do introduce things, aspects like that, where it's like, okay, well, one of the three people is a murderer, and the one guy on his own is a saint.
Yeah.
It's like, so yeah, who do we go for? Because maybe the one guy over there does deserve capital punishment, but the two people he's with doesn't.
Yeah.
But then if you don't do that, the other guy's great.
Oh, we got a message. One sec.
Right.
So we're talking about the trolley problem.
Oh yeah.
And you were saying, yeah, maybe you do deserve capital punishment.
Yeah. Right. So sorry for that jump cut there, everyone. We just had to reply to some messages. Yeah. So, but I have lost my train of thought.
The other way the trolley problem goes deeper, because actually there's multiple versions of this.
Yeah, there's hundreds.
And the other way it goes deeper is, what if it's one adult on one track, three children on the other?
Three children, yeah. No, it doesn't work. It'd have to be, what if it's one child and three adults?
Yeah. Is it better to
kill three adults than a child?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the child has a whole life ahead of them.
Yeah, like obviously it's better to kill a child. Sorry, no, it's better to kill an old man than an infant.
Yeah.
I've had to say it the wrong way around.
But this again goes into, well, what if that infant grows up to be Hitler?
Could do, but it has a chance to not be Hitler, whereas like the old man has had his life basically, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And was he Hitler? No.
No, but and of course you've got to you've got to consider the influence you can then have as well.
And yeah, no, it's got me thinking.
Yeah, it goes really deep.
The trolley problem's a really good one.
It is really good, and there's another variety of the trolley problem, which is the medicine problem. So you're in a jungle with a tribe of people, many of which are very sick, but you've only got enough medicine to treat one. There's a pregnant woman, a child who intends on growing up and becoming a doctor. There's older people who are infected. There's just normal people who are infected.
Yeah.
Who do you give the medicine to?
Yeah, that's.
Well, that child may grow up to become a doctor, but equally that you're in a tribe in the middle of the jungle.
Could you imagine if you give it to the child who says I want to be a doctor, but it turns out he's just saying that so you give it to him?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What,
oh well, yeah, that's another thing to consider.
Yeah, are they potentially trying to
I was
influence
joking, but that is a legitimate
But then
thing.
equally, because you're in a tribe in the middle of the jungle, there's going to be a lot of disease and famine and stuff like that. So that child may not even make it to adulthood anyway. But then do you give it to the pregnant lady? Because then essentially
well, no, for the same reason.
Because that, well, yeah, but then you're then.
Oh, well, no, you're killing two people. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you get into, when do you consider life to truly begin?
I was about to we could segue that into abortion.
Yeah.
Because you get some people that say life begins at conception. You get some people that say life begins when you're born. I sort of sit in the middle. If I'm not mistaken now, a fetus, because I wouldn't call it a human, a fetus gets a brain about 4 or 5 weeks into pregnancy.
Yeah, not very well functioning, but yes.
But, well, it's still a brain. That's sort of like, if you have a brain, that's what I'd consider you to be alive.
But it doesn't have consciousness yet.
Oh, when does it get consciousness?
We're not entirely sure. But we know its brain is not complex enough to support consciousness at that age.
Do you know what? I reckon it might not have consciousness till like 3 or 4 years old. Because like, how often, like... I mean, like, your memory doesn't really work past 3. You can't remember the day you were born, can you?
No.
So, did you have conscious thoughts then? Probably not.
Yeah.
Because your conscious thoughts are all shit you know anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then, like, you can't say, so say we get consciousness at 3 years old, you can't then say, well, a 2-year-old isn't alive, because it is.
Yeah. And then we've got to think about the current abortion laws in this country, which are pretty fucked up in a lot of senses.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's up to 24 weeks you can have an abortion, right?
What kind of position is the fetus in at 24 weeks? Like, what's it got?
24 weeks is about... 12 is 3 months. Talk about 6 months.
Yeah, but, like, what does it look like? Does it have a functioning brain at 24 weeks?
No idea.
Right, okay.
But you can have an abortion up to 46 weeks if...
That's near enough right there, isn't it?
Pretty much full time, yeah.
Yeah.
If there if there has been a detected medical condition that could alter its quality of life. But do you know what the minimum requirement is for that?
What?
Clubfoot. Which is curable before the child is even before the child's even a toddler. You can cure
that needs...
Yeah.
That needs to be changed. Well, it's curable before a child is even a toddler. You're not walking to your toddler, so you don't need your feet.
No, exactly. Yeah, clubfoot is like the minimum requirement. So you can have an abortion pretty much at full term if your child has clubfoot. Or if your unborn child, if the fetus has clubfoot.
Yeah. And then on the other side of the coin, without mentioning names now, but I went to school with some lads that are now fathers and they're thick as pig shit. I wouldn't trust them with a tin of biscuits, let alone a child.
Yeah.
So, like, some people should get abortions.
Yeah. I think it should very much be situational.
Yeah. That all comes back to morality. It's all subjective, it's all situational, it's all...
Yeah.
You know...
Because if a woman's raped and has become pregnant as a result, I 100% support her getting an abortion.
Yeah, because what, you're going to raise this kid that half looks like the guy that raped you?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, and every time you look at him, you're reminded of that fateful day.
Not that you're ever going to forget that if something like that happens to you, but yeah. Now you have to bring something that looks half like your attacker.
Yeah, for certain.
Fuck that. Can you imagine?
And I think I'm actually going to have to Google this. I think there are some countries that have forced contraception. So they
how do they enforce that?
There's a government rule that like all the women have to take the pill up to a particular age, and like particular women have to continually take the pill and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's not a bad idea, because, like...
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, yeah, you could just make guys wear condoms, but...
Yeah.
How many lads do you know strapping up?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, wrapping up, not strapping. Fucking hell, if you're early 20s and you're having to use a strap-on.
Okay, all I'm getting right now is results from forced sterilisation, and we won't get into that.
No. No, that's something for another time.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
But so we've spoken some meta ethics. Pretty deep. We didn't go super deep into it, but we've spoken some meta ethics. Of course, we've spoken about the trolley problem, which is utilitarianism.
Yeah.
Which is sort of where utilitarianism comes into play in it, and there's different forms of utilitarianism, but we're not going to get into that because that's deep and very complicated. But the other thing I thought we could discuss in this is the cosmological argument,
which is
cause and effect, essentially.
Okay.
The cause and effect argument. So of course I've actually written a paper on this.
Well, some things do have an effect because of a cause, but not everything does. I think with cosmological argument, most people like to say that everything has a cause and effect, and that's not strictly true.
Yeah, for sure.
What's an example of that?
Well, because the biggest argument in the cosmological argument is the watchmaker argument. If you find a watch on the ground, you look at it and it's complicated, and it's and you assume it's got a designer. And therefore the universe is complicated, so you should assume the universe has a designer, but I don't think that's true, not at all.
Well, that falls down because we know that there are people that make watches, but there's no evidence for people that make the universe.
No, exactly.
Fucking hell, you've written a big old paper about that, or is that all the one thing?
No, this is like basically all the coursework I've done over my life.
You could have made yourself look stupid smart then, Paul. I mean, all me and all the listeners would know you're lying if you were trying to fake being smart, but you could have attempted.
There's a lot of coursework on here. But yeah,
I pulled out my phone. You're gonna have to cut that out. I do apologise.
It's alright. I'm trying to find it because I can't even find it in here. I don't even know if it is in here. I think last time I found it, I discovered it through Grammarly, because I used to use Grammarly a lot. Because, studying A-levels.
Yeah, I never did that. Right,
so as we were saying about the cosmological argument, it's obviously all cause and effect. So you see something with a complex design. The basis of the argument is you see something with a complex design, you would therefore assume it has a designer.
Yeah.
So obviously the example the watch is given.
Right. Yeah. So, oh yeah, did we already talk about the watch?
I think we
On
spoke
the
about the
beach,
watch,
yeah.
yeah. But this falls down quickly. This falls down
Yeah.
very, very quickly. Because
It doesn't take 5 minutes to think about, like, okay, well, you brush your teeth every morning, but the sun comes up every day.
Yeah.
Unless you live in the UK. Well, the sun still comes up, you just don't see it.
yeah, you should never see the fucker.
Yeah. But, yeah. So, but there's no cause and effect there.
No, exactly.
So it doesn't always work.
No,
Because, like, there is a cause and effect. If I hit the on button on the controller, then the TV will turn on.
yeah.
Not necessarily. What if it's dead? TV controllers never die.
No.
Why is that? Side note. I'm joking.
Well, I don't know. We had Sky growing up for a period of time, and
Yeah,
those
but the
remotes do
batteries
die.
on. They?
They do.
Do they?
Oh yeah, they die fast. The biggest issue with the cosmological argument is infinite regress.
Yeah.
It is one thing causing another, going on infinitely, and like infinites aren't very well mathematically sort of defined.
No.
So, like, yeah, an infinite regress is a huge issue because there is no beginning, middle, or end to an infinite regress. As such, you then have the idea of the unmoved mover.
Yeah, that's something I heard about a lot in school.
Yeah, it's like God is the unmoved mover. It's that thing that has always been, but then if that thing has always been, that thing is it in and of itself an infinite regress.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
And a lot of like Christians and Muslims will argue that God, Allah, whatever you want to call it, exists outside of space and time.
Yes. It's across all time, so it exists outside of space and time, therefore, what was I going to fucking say? What was your point? Because I jumped on top of you.
Yeah, well, obviously, that in and of itself is an issue.
Yeah.
Because...
How do you prove something that's outside of space and time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't. But then you also can't disprove it. And our scientific methods that we've learned to use, you know, we rely on attempting to disprove something, not attempting to prove it. We don't attempt to prove the rule, we attempt to disprove the rule, and if we can't disprove it, we know it's true.
Yeah. It just makes sense to do it like that as well, because you don't have biasy then.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about this study where this guy tried to prove there was a soul by, like, he'd take a body, or take someone who was on his deathbed, he'd weigh him before and after he died, and, like, and he accounted for how much gas was released for his body and after he'd voided his bowels and everything, but, rumour is he was fudging his numbers, so...
Yeah.
Fucking who was that? Do you know?
Oh, I know of the experiment.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't particularly matter.
But, yeah, if I've heard of it, I'm sure the listeners have.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. But yeah, that's the cosmological argument.
Fuck knows who that was now. Sorry, I was stuck on that. But I can't be asked Googling it.
But, so, now we've just got to think of something else to talk about on the topic. Absolutely anything. Morals, ethics.
Well, there's not really a difference between morality and ethics, is there? It's sort of the same thing.
Ethics is how you govern morality.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like we've kind of touched that already.
We have, very much so, yeah.
Yeah.
We've touched on a few things in this episode.
Has it been going on long enough for us to justify ending it?
We're just about hitting 40 minutes. Just.
Because I feel like we've covered it all now.
I think we have. I think if we went away and did a whole bunch of research, we'd definitely have more to talk about.
For sure. Well, there are YouTube channels that's all they do.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You definitely can, but just spitballing off the top of our head. Yeah, that's what it is.
Mm.
I don't know. I wouldn't want to research the podcast, though. It's better when we're just spitballing ideas.
Yeah, because it's more conversational.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, we can end it here. 40 minutes isn't too bad.
It's not bad for a podcast, I suppose.
Not at all, really, no.
Well, cheers for watching, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. We hope you enjoyed. Of course, check us out on YouTube Music if you want to listen on the go.
You beat me to it. I remembered this time and you beat me to it.
But yeah, if you do like our content, consider subscribing. It does help us out. And thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you. I'm going to shoot